Alright, so boom. I was scrolling down social media on Instagram about an hour ago in frustration after hearing the news that the student loans will not be forgiven. Now, granted, that is the one decision in my adolescence that I refuse to take accountability for. We're not talking about that right now. Video for a different time. Nevertheless, I happened to come across this post that posed the question: would you rather A, accept $10,000 up front, or B, try your hands in 5xing that amount of money and winning $50,000? But the only caveat is you have to score one time out of 25 tries, one basket against LeBron James. And immediately I thought to myself, anybody with a brain would take the $10,000. But the curiosity and the competitive urge to say, 1 out of 25 times, I gotta be able to make a basket. I gotta throw it into the air, have a high arcing shot on some Dirk Nowitzki joint, just arc it high enough to where if after about 18 attempts of just science and figuring out trajectory, I gotta be able to make one. Luck gotta be on my side, right? Anybody would probably go and take A, but a few percentage would actually have the curiosity to say, man, maybe I could score on LeBron. Now, granted, it's possible, may not be so much probable. I'd highly doubt anybody would say, I'm going to go to the paint. I think you're a lunatic. You're losing out on an opportunity to have luck on your side. All right. But with that being the case, it posed a question in my mind. What sport do you think the average individual could score, whatever it may be, a point, basket, goal, whatever it may be, any sport across the board? Where can an average person beat the best, not average, the best in their craft? So I'm talking about winning a set in tennis against Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal in their prime. Winning, running for 5 yards, or I should say a goal line situation. You're at the 5 yard, well, goal line, not really 5 yard line, but you're on the 5 yard line. You got to run it into the end zone against like the 85 Bears defense situation. You're playing baseball. You got to be able to hit a home, or I should say just get a hit on like a Randy Johnson or Roger Clemens. You're playing any sport, swimming. You got to be able to beat, Michael Phelps in a freestyle 100-meter, race. Usain Bolt, 200-meter, 100-meter race. Shot put, whatever case may be. What sport do you think has the best odds? Because anybody who's ever gone to the casino, I believe in my mind, I think 3 games that have the highest probability. Roulette, blackjack, and probably craps. And I don't really enjoy playing craps, just a sidebar, because the name is craps. Like, could you imagine winning a fortune? How'd you get this money? I won it playing craps. Nobody's gonna respect you. Now, granted, you got the money, so I mean, it doesn't really matter if they respect you or not, but craps, come on now. But nevertheless, I enjoy playing roulette. There's a lot of people who enjoy playing blackjack because you have a high probability of messing around and winning, even if you don't have any information on how the strategies or whatever the case may be. So in sports, what would you guys think would be the best sport to try your hand in any of this wagering, right? Because just look at it like this. Here's a scenario. Either accept $10,000 up front or try your hand in whatever sport it may be. You have 25 attempts to just get 1 point, 1 basket, win 1 set, win 1 race, whatever the case is, against the best in their craft, in their prime. Not no old, decrepit, I'll be able to bat down a pass from Tom Brady when he's 45. No, I'm talking about prime time, best players at their best. In my mind, there's 3 sports that come to mind. I think bowling probably is number 1. Now, if you have to do an entire game, I think you're going to lose. But if you tell me, well, then again, if everything's out of 25, then it's over. If I have to get, let's say, a strike, but nobody's preventing me. So now it's just a matter of me against me. But if I'm actually competing against another individual, I think bowling, it's over, right? But let's just say it was out of 25, you got to get a strike once. I think you have a very high probability. But the only downside would be, I would assume that you have to prevent the other individual from scoring. So in bowling, you're not preventing somebody. So I guess I can't use bowling. Soccer would probably come in at number 1 then, because bowling, it's you versus the other person, but you're not actually, they're not stopping you or whatever. There's no defense. I guess maybe you would have to score more than them. Then bowling, it's done. You're going to lose. But any combat sport, I think it's over. Right? You have to survive one round against John Jones. You're going to die. Well, maybe not die, but you will lose, right? You're going to end up tapping out, or you're going to end up losing via knockout or TKO. There's no way. You have to box. It's over. Yeah, I'm going to step in there, survive one round against George Foreman, against Mike Tyson, against Deontay Wilder at his peak, against Sugar Ray Rock. It's over. You're going to lose. That's a bad idea. So truly, I think soccer, I have an opportunity. Because if you're a goalie, or you're the individual kicking the penalty kicks, 25 attempts, all you got to do is guess right once. I think there's a chance there. I think there's a chance. The possibility exists, probability not so much, but I think that's a chance. So I would say soccer at number one. Basketball only because you can attempt 25 times. Now, if you go 0 for 25, that's a shame, right? But you've got an elite defender. You got LeBron on the other end. You got Shaq on the other end. You got Jordan, Kobe, Hakeem, Kareem, whoever it may be on the other end. You got the greatest of all time on the other end. You're going to have a bad time most of the time, but all you got to do is just get one. So I think soccer would be number one for me, because all I got to do is just guess right. But then you run into the problem of the kick. You got to make sure that you're actually going to mess around and score. It's not easy, right? Baseball, out of the question. The hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. I don't think there is any scenario in which I can attempt in baseball. I think that's done. Football, I think that's going to be somewhat tough as well. Completion, ooh, that's going to be tough. Oh, yeah, let me complete a pass on Deion Sanders. It's really going to be more up to the wide receiver to make a play than you actually putting the ball somewhere he ain't fixing to get it. If you're having to stop somebody, you have to stop Jerome Bettis or Derrick Henry or Earl Campbell from scoring in an Oklahoma drill. It's over. Might as well count your blessings. You're headed to the upper room, right? Football, I think that's out of the question. There's no chance there. Hockey. It's over. I don't think that the average person, let alone can't even skate. So you think you're about to score or block a puck? I don't know, right? Even though that puck is relatively tiny, those professionals know what the hell they're doing. I don't think there's a chance there. Tennis, I think it's over. You're not going to get a set on that. NASCAR, F1, I don't think you stand a chance. You're probably not on average, driving at the speed. So with that being the case, I think soccer, basketball are 1 and 2 as it pertains to probability. And if I had to go with a 3 of any sport where maybe you have a chance, Jesus Christ, maybe bull riding, if you're drunk enough. How many people go into somewhere where there's a mechanical bull or something and you just see that person who's a bit inebriated, intoxicated, just somehow stay on the bull? Maybe. Depending on if the bull just gives a favorable amount of leaps to where you can stay on a little longer than the professional. What's the record on a bull? Like 8 seconds, 9 seconds or some shit? You might mess around and die. I did a video about that a couple before. I think that dude got paralyzed or some shit like that, but we're not talking about that right now. But nevertheless, comment section. I don't want to make this too doggone long. I want y'all to answer me in the comment section. Give me your insight. For one, if you had to choose $10,000 outright up front, or try your hand in a 1 out of 25 attempt in any sport against the best at their craft, would you go for the $50,000 and 5x, the original offer, or would you just take the money outright? Me personally, I think I'd take the money outright, but I think that natural curiosity might mess around and make me want to attempt out of 50. But just because I'm not that big of a gambling man, I think I would have messed around and went with the 1. And then furthermore, after you answer that, also comment, what top 3 sports do you believe have the highest probability to where things would work out in your favor? I'm very curious to see what answers you guys come up with. Golly, what sport has the highest probability? What sport? All I know is if I chose, let's say I chose to go with the latter and I'm going 1, or I should say 0 of 24, and I'm on my last attempt. Let me tell you something right now, LeBron James. One way or another, I'm leaving here with some money, and I don't care if you stop me or not.
Cut that bitch!
You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm.